How fluent is your everyday English? Let's do a fun little test to find out. I'm going to tell you 10 short jokes in English, and each of them has a double meaning. If you can figure out both meanings for all 10, your everyday English is absolutely fluent. But watch out, because they're going to get trickier as we go. Ready to get started? Here's number 1. There was once a king who was 12 inches tall. He was a terrible king, but a great ruler. Where's the double meaning? Well, a ruler can of course be someone who rules a nation, but it can also be one of these, a ruler. And how long is a standard ruler? 12 inches. Number 2, it's not the best ceiling I've ever seen, but it's up there. Where's the double meaning? We can use the phrase up there to literally talk about something that's high above the ground, right? That window up there is broken. But we can also use up there to talk about things that are near the top of a list or a ranking. It's not the best ceiling I've ever seen, but it's up there. And if you want to feel more confident when you speak English, you should download the Captain English app. It's like learning with me one-on-one anytime you want. And if you don't speak better English in 14 days, we'll give you your money back with no questions. Download the Captain English app and unlock your free trial today. Here's number 3. I once got stuck in an elevator. Now I take steps to avoid them. Where's the double meaning? The phrase to take steps usually means to do things in service of a goal. Someone might take steps to improve their diet, or a company might take steps to expand into a new market. But to take steps, or to take the steps, can also literally mean to walk up the stairs. I once got stuck in an elevator, now I take steps to avoid them. Number 4. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Where's the double meaning? So what is ground beef? Well, first of all, beef is meat from a cow. And when beef is ground up to make sausages or hamburgers, we call it ground beef. But on the other hand, a cow with no legs would always be on the ground. It would be ground beef. Number 5. What did the fish say when it hit the wall? Damn. Where's the double meaning? Damn, D-A-M-N, is a mild expletive or curse word, and it's something you might say if you stub your toe or smack into a wall. But a dam, D-A-M, is one of these, a barrier that stops the flow of water in a river or a lake. So if a fish hits a wall, he's probably really hitting a dam. You're doing great so far, so let's make these a little trickier. Here's number 6. Of all the inventions of the last 100 years, the dry erase board is the most remarkable. Where's the double meaning? If something is remarkable, it's amazing or impressive. We might say, wow, what a remarkable accomplishment. But for the purposes of a joke, we can also break this word down into re and markable, as in something that can be marked or written on over and over again. Something like a dry erase board. Number 7. I used to be addicted to eating soap, but I'm clean now. Where's the double meaning? One meaning here is pretty obvious, right? Using soap makes you clean. But the other meaning is tricky, because the phrase to get clean also means to quit a drug addiction. And usually that's a serious issue. But in this case, it's an addiction to eating soap. Number 8. My doctor recommended that I buy orthopedic insoles. I didn't think they would work, but I stand corrected. Where's the double meaning? First of all, what's an orthopedic insole? It's one of these, a pad that goes inside your shoe to improve your posture, or we might say, to correct the way you stand. But normally, people use the phrase to stand corrected to admit that they were wrong about something. I didn't think the insoles would work, but I stand corrected. Number 9, and this is my favorite joke on the list, but there is a little bit of a bad word in here. You've been warned. Did you hear about the zoo where the only animal is a small dog? It's a Shih Tzu. Where's the double meaning? On the one hand, we're talking here about a dog breed, right? A Shih Tzu, which is originally a Chinese word, but we use the same one in English. But on the other hand, if we're describing a zoo, and it's a bad zoo, and we're using casual slang, we might just call it a zoo. And finally, number 10. Plateaus are the highest form of flattery. Where's the double meaning? First of all, there's a popular saying in English that imitation is the highest form of flattery. And flattery, of course, is saying nice things to someone. You're so talented. You're so beautiful. That's flattery. But this joke is also playing on the word flattery by connecting it to the adjective flat. And what's a plateau? It's this, an elevated shelf of land. So if we take land that's flat, if we take flattery, and we lift it up high, what do we get? A plateau. Plateaus are the highest form of flattery. So, how many of the double meanings did you understand? I hope you'll leave a comment and let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and be well.